Well, hello, and more hello on Wisdom Wednesday to all you wisdom walkers out there. This is JojopahMaria and Saroma coming to you with astrology for self mastery for today's full moon in Libra here on April the 1st. Yeah. I wasn't sure from earlier today, the way the energy was running, whether or not I'd be able to do the live stream tonight or if I needed to wait till tomorrow. But everything began to fall into place. And so I'm able to bring you this information. Yeah. And three people have texted me before I went live about the fact that a rocket ship has launched to go to travel. I think it's traveling around the moon, but I'm sending prayers to those astronauts and to their families because the times we are in, it's very, very challenging for anything that's going on. So, yeah, prayers, prayers, and more prayers. But without further ado, let me dive into this astrology of just today, April 1st for you. I will come back in not this Sunday, but the following Sunday and give you all of the first half of the astrology for April. But here's my quote to kick us off. And this is from Tamerri Ater. She is an astrologer featured on astrology.com's website. And she says April 2026 is a powerful month with a vibration of newness. The fresh energy of spring is upon us. And as we venture deeper into this new season, we're invited to find equilibrium between our individual needs and the desires of our closest connections. A Libra full moon on the first day of the month sets the tone for a big theme: self versus others, challenging us to approach conflicts and partnerships with empathy, compromise, and a willingness to see all perspectives. Yeah, very much what this new moon is about. So happy Fool's April Fool's Day. Happy Fool's Day. Yeah, happy Fool's Day to everyone. I remember when I was in school, there was always stuff going on, pranks being made and whatnot. It was, yeah, but it was a fun day. So hopefully you have had some fun today with the April Fool's energy going on. I looked up about the origin of this and there was nothing really clear. They said there's theories, but it seems that when the Romans decided to make January 1st the beginning of the year versus April 1st, there were people who either didn't know about it or didn't want to change. And so those people were called fools because they were still, in the old paradigm, I guess you would call it at that time. And then there's some other things related to ancient indigenous festivals and stuff that went on about this spring, being a day for to celebrate foolishness. So there we go. And Emily SP 722 says, "Good evening. I hope to see the pink moon rise. I hope you're well." I am well. Thank you, Emily. And I hope to see it too, but I don't think it's going to happen. We do have some clouds coming in. There should be some rain coming. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to be happening for me tonight, but at least I will feel the energy because I'm feeling it now. Yeah. So let me take a moment to acknowledge some of the religious holidays coming up. The first is Passover. Tonight is Passover. And to my Jewish friends that celebrate this, Happy Passover to you. Many, many blessings on what is really such a powerful and important ritual that touches, I think, all human beings. Just like this next one, which is Easter. And for me, Easter is really so much about resurrection energy, that something is being resurrected. It comes in the spring, which is a time of the ground breaking open for flowers and trees and sprouts. And so it is a time of things coming out of the dark and moving into the light. And I just love, love, love that energy. Easter for me will be a temple day. That's a day when I stay still and do regular prayers to hold out and up the vibration of newness and wondrous things that come into our lives. So happy Easter, everyone who celebrates it. And of course, Easter eggs are always a delight. Um, and again, it's just a wonderful time, a sacred time to remember something greater than ourselves. Ashe. And so we are still in Aries season. So again, all my Aries friends, um, happy birthday to you, the ones that just had it and ones that are coming up. You know, Arian season is such an important, important time of the year because it really is that rocket. I can understand why they want the rocket to go off during Aries season. And it makes sense that they would try to coordinate. I don't know if that was their reasoning, but spiritually, speaking, if you're going to do something where you definitely need to have some good order, greater order and direction working on your behalf, yeah, doing it in Aries season, the time when it is for rockets to be going off, for things to be getting started, for movement to happen. And yeah, it's a really powerful season for that. Yeah. And Sarah Sweetwater, hey Carolyn, signed in late, but I'm here. Had to watch the space launch. Yeah, I was just talking about that and the fact that they've chosen a good day, I hope, to be able to do this. Yeah. So let's dive in to April 1st, April Fool's Day, and see what this full moon in Libra is about. And the overall message that I kept seeing in the interpretations was that this is an invitation to balance ourselves and our relationships. Yeah. And you can see on the scales, there's a feather and a heart, because that harkens back to the symbolism of the scales. So here is the energetics of the sign of Libra. Because after the intense full blood red moon eclipse in the Virgo on March the 3rd, this full moon is bringing energy for fostering internal and external balance. Now, Libra is the seventh sign of the Western zodiac and the only sign to have a symbol that is neither animal nor human. It's a symbol of the scales, emerged from the ancient Egyptian beliefs that in order to enter the afterlife, one had to have their heart or their soul, also meaning their soul, weighed against the truth, which was symbolized by a feather. This belief system helped encourage humans to stay aligned with truth and justice, harmony and balance during their lifetime. Yeah. In other words, if you ain't being truthful with yourself and you're not being aligned with justice, you ain't getting into the afterlife. You're going to have to wander like a zombie. Anyway, Libra has the energy to liberate through cosmic justice. It illuminates where we are out of balance and provides the energetics of love and beauty to support us returning back into balance. Now, love and beauty are heartful energies. They soften, melt, dissolve, and reveal what is keeping us at odds with cosmic truth. Yeah. So this is a very powerful new moon in terms of the season that we're into, where we're like breaking into this new, right? Breaking out of the dark and into the new, and full of hopes and dreams and expectation of new opportunities. People think about new jobs, new homes, new relationships. And so this energy is really coming to help us with that newness, to say, okay, let me show you where you may be out of balance, especially in relationships, because, Libra is also kind of an energetic related to love and marriage. And so it is talking about our personal relationships, but it can be any relationship. And most importantly, it's the relationship we have with ourselves. Absolutely. So it's such a wonderful energy for us to be in before we really get more, you know, Aryan movement into the new, to really be conscious about, okay, where am I out of balance? Where are my relationships out of balance? And what can I do to get them back into balance, right? Absolutely. So, some more about this moon. Libra full moon, pink and religious. The first full moon after the equinox is called pink by the North American First Nations people, Paschal by Catholicism, I hope I said that right, and Nisan by Judaism. While the name pink moon might suggest a rosy colored moon, the reality is a bit less magical, although I think it is still very magical. The name comes from the early spring bloom of a wild flower native to eastern North America, often called moss pink. And it was in full bloom around April's full moon. And I have a picture here for you of that. This is from when I was living in San Pedro, California, in Southern Cal. And they had it in Santa Monica too. And I was just always blown away at how this delicious, beautiful, heartful color would show up and just cover people's lawns and sidewalks, and I mean, it's just glorious. So to me, it is magical. It has such a beauty about it, and Emily says my mom called them May Pink. Yes, yes. And, I always cried when they were leaving, when they, had finished their season, because they're just so beautiful. I think I might have like 100 pictures of this, of the pink ones. Every time I saw it, I'd stop and take a picture, but it's glorious. And so for Christian religions, when the full moon occurs after the ecal wait, ecclesiastical, no, it is the classic, eclass eclis ec eclass see, I think I said it right, ecclesiastical. There. We'll go with that. Spring equinox, which is always set on March the 21st, it's called the Paschal moon. As the first full moon of the season, it determines the date of Easter this year. And I didn't know that. I didn't know how the date for Easter was set. I kind of thought it was around the moon, but I didn't know specifically. Now, if the moon shows up before the equinox, that's called the Lenten moon, and that also is used to determine when Easter shows up. And then lastly, according to the Jewish calendar, which is lunisolar, meaning months start at the new moon, Passover holidays begin on the 15th day of the Hebrew month of Nisan, which is always a full moon falling in the northern hemisphere spring. So, again, here we have this pink moon that's also got all of this religious energy associated with it, like this time of really marking something sacred, something holy. And so I just wanted you to keep that in mind as we're talking about this moon and you're experiencing this moon. Emily says they smell wonderful. Oh my God, Emily, I never got close enough to the pink moss to smell it, but next time I'm in California, I will definitely do it. I'll make sure I'll be in California around April, May, so that I can experience them. Absolutely. So, more about the pink moon, the beautiful smell. Also known as the pink moon, it launches a new month, a new cycle, and a new energy. Fiery, action oriented, future focused, adventurous, and inspired to move forward and to take a leap towards what you have always dreamed of. In order to take that leap, we are being prompted and supported to do a final release of any thought pattern, emotion, old belief system, or imprint that feels heavy, burdensome, not aligned, limiting, restrictive, and basically holding us back. It is a powerful moon that encourages us also to seek balance between doing and being, the self and others, action and contemplation, alone time and social time. Watch impatience and stay aware of what is being illuminated for your personal attention. Yeah. This can also be a powerful, this time can also be powerful for increasing your abundance and expanding your vision of what is possible. And that's from Lena Stevens of the Power Path. Yeah. But so important there that, this is an energy that, really is asking us to be more conscious about how in balance or out of balance we are, especially in relationships, but I think in everything. Yeah. So, Libra full moon, restoring balance, symbolized by the scales. Libra learns about balance by exploring extremes. Around this time, we have an opportunity to notice where we are gravitating toward extremes and make necessary adjustments. This full moon asks us to restore harmony by addressing imbalances, disharmony, and lack of reciprocity in our lives and relationships. This event reminds us that balance in relationships does not happen automatically. It is something that we consciously create and cultivate. The Libra full moon highlights the need to find true harmony between focusing on our personal needs and investing in our relationships with others. These days, the dynamics at play within partnerships of all kinds becomes more visible, and we can better understand where adjustments are necessary. And, you'll see as I go on to, they're going to talk about, when you ignore that. And I think that's so important in this time that we're in, is to really give ourselves enough of a pause to really be truthful with ourselves about where we're out of balance externally and internally. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And and I've shared this with you that for Lent, I gave up sweets and starches and all the things that were making me making me have symptoms of fatty liver. Um, and even honey, I even let go of honey. Oh, no honey in my tea. But I can tell you, I've learned how out of balance I was with my diet. I learned how the sweets, which I thought I wasn't doing a lot, had really taken over my digestive system. Yeah. And I'm so grateful that I have been able to get back into balance. Of course, you lose some weight when you do this, which is a blessing, and also saying, okay, you're getting more into balance. I've got a ways to go. I need to keep this diet up for at least 6 months before I would dare put anything sweet in my mouth again. That's not a fruit like I do apples, because even oranges right now would set me off. Yeah. But I share that with you to say that I was so grateful to be made aware by my body that something was out of balance. And I'm more grateful that I did have the discipline and the willingness to take on doing what I was being asked to do to get back in balance. So, for all of you who are finding that there's something out of balance, that's what illness is, you know. Illness is when we're out of balance, whether that's mental, physical, emotional. Yeah, that's something out of balance. So, for all of you that have something out of balance, I'm believing that if you open up to it, this pink moon, this sacred moon, can really help you become more aware of what that is and to really help you open up to receiving the support that you need to get back in balance. Yeah, yeah. It's a good moon. It's a powerful moon. It is. So here are the aspects associated with this moon. We have the Libra full moon is in a T square with Jupiter. And as Astro Butterfly explains, the full moon is T squaring Jupiter at 15 degrees Cancer. At best, the square to Jupiter in Cancer arrives as a much needed, nurturing counterbalance to a conflict that has reached the point of it's me versus you. We can't see eye to eye. At worst, the same Jupiter in Cancer can inflate and moralize a truth that is as subjective as the emotions behind it. Suddenly, everyone is very sure they're right. The moon in Libra has a natural orientation to listen to the other point of view. The question is whether we use that awareness to bring emotional intelligence into the conflict or to justify our own position and escalate into ideological polarization. Yeah, yeah. And this, of course, is for the collective and for things that are going on out in the world right now. And again, this this is a minor aspect, but it can carry some weight. So it's about us just being more conscious about, doing what the monk said, keep your peace, focus on staying peaceful. And if you come across somebody who's moralizing about war, about, anything that is a cosmic truth that they're going against, you don't have to school them or anything. You just say, may you be well, happy, and peaceful, and let it be. Leave it to God because engaging in that is not a good day. It's not helpful to you or to the universe. Yeah, it just puts out a negative energy. So we want to choose to just, again, allow that there will be difference and then go do what we have control over. Yeah, which is staying in our higher vibration. So here's a second aspect with this full moon. It is opposing both Saturn and Neptune, which are both in Aries right now, of course. This configuration highlights the tension between the desire to connect, share, merge, and feel on the same wavelength with others, and the necessity to honor what we need and desire, setting appropriate boundaries to protect our energy. We have an opportunity to recognize how excessive idealism, wishful thinking, self deception, or unchecked projections can lead to disappointment or resentment in relationships. Yes. The moon's opposition to Saturn and Neptune invites us to learn how to be compassionate without losing sight of our limits, needs, and energetic capacity. It challenges us to make sure we discern between what we feel and what others feel and set clear boundaries without emotionally closing off. This is really hard. This is really, really hard. This is not an easy one. And basically, what it's saying is, you know, don't avoid conflict, just don't engage with it from a place of I've got to be right and I've got to know it all. Because here's the thing, if you know that somebody's thinking or belief system is not in alignment with cosmic truth, with the golden rule, right? Um, there's really nothing that you can say that's going to change that because they're trying to convince you that they're right. So instead of engaging again from that place of fear or that place of anger, it's all dense energy. This is saying, set your boundary and meaning, speak your piece, yes, but then let it go. Be clear that I am not going to be influenced or I'm not going to let that person's fear get transferred onto me. You got to set your boundary. You got to protect your energy. Yeah. And this is saying do it from a place of compassion and understanding. Um, Not aggressiveness, not a form of emotional violence, but to really just see, when you're feeling that somebody's in pain, they're in pain, they're suffering. And you don't need to add to it to make them suffer more. That's not how it works. Just leave it alone. But also, don't dispose of them, you know, honor them as human beings, see them as evolutionary teachers. Because if you hadn't maybe read that book years ago or had a teacher or a parent that gave you some wisdom and information, that might be you. Yeah. So that's what the compassion piece is about. Be compassionate in the face of somebody else's insanity and don't take it on. Yeah, absolutely. 'Cause, Saturn and Neptune ain't no joke. So here's the final message that I want to share with you. The full moon in Libra is ruled by Venus and Mars is ruling the sun. What does that mean? In the midst of assertive Aries season, the Libra full moon on April 1st offers a gentle reprieve. Harmonious Venus acts as the ruler of this lunation, standing proudly across from the Mars ruled sun. When these celestial lovers lock eyes, opposing forces find common ground. These vibes are perfect for establishing healthier partnerships and cordial working dynamics. Aggressive personalities can be tamed with consideration and kindness. So remember to be courteous. Empathy boosts on a collective scale, making it easier for everyone to see multiple perspectives. On the plus side, connections that are meant to last will enter a new stage. The appreciation each partner has for the other grows stronger. And people who typically struggle with the thought of being alone won't feel so afraid of leaving unhealthy situations. And this comes from Renee Watt, who is featured in astrology.com, like Tamerri Ater. And that's where this information came from, which I thought was a nice conclusion, nice concluding message to this information about this moon and the energetic with it, how you may be feeling. But again, I think its purpose is really to help us be more prepared for moving forward. I think it is helping us to empty out from where it is that we are staying stuck in out of balance and opening ourselves up with this newness energy to find our way out of that maze, to find a way where we're able to really, feel good, to feel comfortable, to feel safe with ourselves, because that's the only way you can really have a balanced relationship with someone else. Yeah. We gotta take care of ourselves. We gotta love on ourselves. Yeah. So getting yourself in balance is an act of self-love, and it's very important. And the more each of us individually do that, it does send out a wave of energy collectively so that those who find it more challenging to get into balance, at least there's this energy flowing to support them. Yeah. And I truly believe we can dream up the impossible. What may seem impossible, we can dream up to become, no longer a problem. I truly, truly believe that. Yeah. So let me also leave you with this cosmic reminder, which I love doing, about, yes, the minor triangle, the magic triangle that is between Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto from 2025 to 2028. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto will be harmoniously aligned. And right now, none of them are retrograde. Everybody is moving forward. And this extremely rare configuration is also very powerful for a long time. The magic triangle is the most positive, significant, and consequential planetary alignment in our lifetimes and this century. Aries, Gemini, and Aquarius are most effective. However, the amazing period of discovery and revelation can benefit everyone. Yeah, it's a really, really sweet energy. And of course, as I'm asking all of us to do multiple times a day, is to pray for world peace. We really, 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 as human beings, have to evolve beyond thinking that war is going to solve anything, and to really, really get more dedicated to our wisdom walking, to our self mastery, so that we stop transferring our pain onto others. And then, last but not least, just remind you to keep supporting and praying for the venerable monks. They are still doing work for peace in the world and for peace within all. And every day, take a moment, especially first thing in the morning, to write down, today is going to be my peaceful day. And it will be, meaning you will have more strength to be able to get back to your peace. Yeah. So, my dears, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. As always, it's my great pleasure to bring you this information. Now, I won't be live streaming on Sunday, but I actually am going to live stream the elemental wisdom for the month of April tomorrow, probably about noon or 1 p.m. my time. I'll get the link out at least an hour before. But I do want to do that. So at least we're set for April, but I won't be live streaming on a Sunday until I believe it's going to be the 12th, until the 12th. In the meantime, please take good care of yourselves. Remember to keep your nervous system intact, keep it in balance. Take care of yourself, love on yourself, and know that this too shall pass, and wondrous things are coming for us. Absolutely. Bye now. Love you too, Sarah Sweetwater. Thank you, Emily SP 722. You're a treat. You're a treat.